Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and in the series of Evidence Act, we were discussing chapter 2, which is all about relevancy of facts covered between section 5 to 55. Total of 51 sections, and this is my last class on chapter 2 of Evidence Act. Yes, we have already covered 49 sections, and here I am going to cover two more sections along with an amendment section, that is section 53, 53A and section 54. Section 52 to 55, the act discusses about characters, and we have already covered section 52 and 55 in my previous session, which focuses on character as far as civil cases are concerned. And here section 53, 53A and 54 are discusses about character in criminal cases. Not taking much of your time, let's get into the first slide. What is character? I am not going to spend any time on this particular slide because I have explained this in detail in my previous presentation when I was discussing the character in civil cases. Just to remind, I have brought the same slide here, and with that I am moving on. While discussing section 52, we understood that in civil cases, the character is irrelevant. There we are not considering any kind of character other than the exception that we have discussed under section 55, where the suit is seeking any kind of damages. There the character of the person who is seeking damages is relevant. That is what we learnt in the last two sections, that is section 52 and section 55. Here we are focusing on character as far as criminal cases are concerned. Section 53 discusses about in criminal cases previous good character relevant. It says in criminal proceedings the fact that the person accused is of a good character is relevant. See, it is not discussing about any bad character. If the accused is having good character, that is relevant under criminal cases as far as section 53 of Evidence Act is concerned. While section 53 is very brief, we need to understand few other aspects, and I have few important bullet points which we have to go through. The first thing, we need to understand why do we need this section. I have four important aspects which we need to understand here. The first one, it is a psychological aspect that a good person will not usually commit any crime or criminal act. That is what we all believe. A good person cannot commit crime. A good person cannot do a criminal act. That is a psychological aspect, and that is one of the important aspects we need to remember, which creates base for section 53. The second one, an accused is innocent and that presumption need to be held. Whenever the case starts, when it is criminal proceeding, it is always the presumption that an accused is innocent. Of course, we have exceptions like rape. However, in most of the cases, it is always starts with the presumption that an accused is innocent. That is why we should not start with the bad characters. We have to see the good part of such person who is an accused in the case and then start the case. Only the evidence can prove that he has committed the crime, not the assumptions. That is why this particular section plays a very significant role. The third one, good character is always relevant in this process. That's what section 53 says. And finally, if it is doubtful, the benefit of doubt to be given to the accused and the good character helps for the same. Now, if court cannot conclude, if the evidences are not significant or conclusive, in that case, the good character part will save the accused. There also, section 53 of Evidence Act plays a very important role. Saying so, these are not free of limitations. There are limitations. Like for example, if there is a person who is having a very good character, but if there is an availability of good evidence, in that case, evidence stands first. Good character comes next. the evidences will always have high importance as far as any section in Evidence Act is concerned. But then if there are weak evidences and if there is a strong good character, in that case the second point comes into picture, where the court will decide whether to give importance to those weak evidences which are available or to give importance to such strong good character person. That is what the court will decide. And finally, if there are previous convictions available, in that case that will be considered as an evidence of having bad character, which is explained under section 54 explanation 2, which I will explain in my next slide. Finally, coming to the case laws part, I would like to read out the small part of judgment in the case law of Habib Mohammed versus the state of Hyderabad. This is in a very simple English, which says, and I read, in criminal proceedings, a man's character is often a matter of importance in explaining his conduct and in judging his innocence or criminality. Many acts of an accused person would be suspicious or free from all suspicion when we come to know the character of the person by whom they are done. Even on the question of punishment, an accused is allowed to prove general good character. What does it say? To decide any kind of punishment or to have suspect, we need to understand the character of the person who is accused. By understanding his character, we can clear lot of doubts. That is what the court says in this particular case law. Then comes the amendment section, section 53A. This is one of the most important amendment section, especially for those who are practicing criminal law. This discusses about evidence of character or previous sexual experience not relevant in certain cases. This particular section is being amended along with Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 and Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018. The provision says, in a prosecution for an offence under below sections of the Indian Penal Code or for attempt to commit any of such offence where the question of consent is in issue, evidence of the character of the victim or of such person's previous sexual experience with any person shall not be relevant on the issue of such consent or the quality of consent. And all of these sections are discussing about sexual offences, and there, if the consent is not available from the victim for such sexual offences, whether she was good or bad, whether he was good or bad, in their earlier instances, such experience will not be taken into consideration. That is the very important aspect one need to remember, which is section 53A. This particular amendment section covers two important sections, that is section 354 and section 376 of Indian Penal Code. Along with that, it covers many of those sections which are coming as amendment under section 354 and 376 from the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 and Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018. I have given the complete list of those sections which are coming under the purview of section 53A. Along with that, I have also given what are those sections all about. If you are curious to understand all these sections, you can definitely go to my playlist on Indian Penal Code, where I have explained all of these sections. In a conclusion, you need to remember that in sexual offences, if the question is on the consent of the victim, the previous experiences or the previous character of the victim is irrelevant. That is all you need to remember as far as section 53A is concerned. The final section that we are discussing here is section 54, which is about previous bad character not relevant except in reply. Now we have understood from section 53 only the good character is relevant. However, the previous bad character will become relevant if it is coming in reply. What is the section? It says in criminal proceedings, the fact that the accused person has a bad character is irrelevant unless evidence has been given that he has a good character, in which case it becomes relevant. Now, for example, imagine there is a criminal case between A and X. A is the accused here and X is the victim. Now, X cannot make any statement on the bad character of Mr. A. However, if A says that I have A, B, C good characters, in that case, X can definitely make statement that he has I, J, K bad characters. Now, that list as reply can come from Mr. X. Now, till the time A says that I have so and so good character, X cannot make any statement of bad characters of Mr. A. However, the moment A starts making statement of his own good characters, X as reply can make the list of bad characters of Mr. A. That's what this particular provision says. But sometimes it so happens that the character itself becomes one of the major fact in issue. What to do in such cases? That is what given under explanation 1. It says this section does not apply to cases in which the bad character of any person is itself a fact in issue. Like for example, imagine A and B are husband and wife. Now B, the wife of A, has applied for divorce and the base for divorce is cruelty. Now the application comes with the major character of Mr. A, which is cruelty. Because of cruelty, the application of divorce is coming to the scene. Now here the character becomes a fact in issue. It is one of the major fact in issue. In such case, definitely there will be discussion on the character of Mr. A. That cannot be avoided. That is what given under explanation 1. Then comes explanation 2, which discusses about a previous conviction is relevant as evidence of a bad character. If someone already been convicted, I am stressing this word convicted. Accused is different and convicted is different. Accused, anybody can be an accused till the time it is proven he is not guilty of any offense. Only when he is convicted, that is when the case is closed. Now, if there is earlier convictions or previous convictions, in that case, it becomes as a relevant fact that there is bad character available. You can also read section 110 of CRPC and section 75 of Indian Penal Code, which are almost going in alignment with section 54. Section 110 of CRPC discusses about security of good behavior from habitual offenders. There is a big list available under section 110, and section 75 of Indian Penal Code discusses about enhancing punishment for certain offences under chapter 12 and chapter 17. Now, if there is a previous conviction under these two chapters, in that case, the punishment next time can be enhanced, which is what discussed under section 75 of IPC. That way, if the previous bad character is proved, then that is not good for those offenders who are getting aligned to another crime again. The last case law that I am discussing under chapter 2 of Evidence Act is B. Vasanthi versus Bhaktavachulu. This is one of the landmark judgment. This is very important judgment because you can discuss this on habeas corpus under Article 226. Here what happens, there was a husband and wife and they had two children. A boy of 10 years and a girl of 9 years. Then one fine day there was a fight between husband and wife because husband suspect that wife has an attract towards another man. The wife says, yes, there is a relationship between me and that another man, and I request you to give a mutual consent divorce. Husband agrees and they make a letter where wife says that it will be a mutual consent divorce and she will also give the custody to husband. Then they got divorced and everything looked settled. But then she comes and puts a writ petition of habeas corpus under Article 226 asking for the custody of children. Now she makes lot of statements saying that her husband's character is not good. Now here she has already made her statement, and in reply, I'm stressing that word in reply because section 54 is all about in reply. Now here in reply, husband tells the entire story that she was not taking care of the children. The boy was already taken care by the grandparents of him for last 3 years. The girl was also not sent to school. Rather, she was using the girl to pass love letter with her alleged lover, and all of this was happening. And sometime when girl gone to school and came back, mother was not in home. She was all alone in the home. All of these characters he explained. He also shown the letter where she had agreed that she has an affair with that XYZ person and she wanted to live with him. All of that story was told by the husband, and again the same was told by the girl also. And when the court asked the children whether they want to go with father or mother, they both said they would like to stay back with father. Now here, as a reply, whatever husband has told on the character of wife will be considered to prove her bad character, because it was not him alleging but he is telling it in a reply. That's what we need to remember. That is what held in B. Vasanti versus Bhaktachulu case. I hope that makes very clear. And here in this case law, it was also held that the characters of both the plaintiff and the defendant were facts in issue, and the court considered evidence of the character of both and then decided on the best interest of the custody of the children. Now, when character of both the parents are in discussion, court has to consider both of them, and on or for the best interest of the children, court has to decide who is the best parent who can take care of the children. And here in this case law, the financial position of husband was also good, and considering all of these facts, court decided that the custody of children will remain with the father.
Cats, 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 cats. So many cats. Beautiful cats. I love cats. I told my father to bring a cat, but he'll only show at my Amma's home. And he just brought me this monkey shirt and this monkey. If I press it, wait. It makes noise.
Nishan, what's happening there?
Nothing, Papa. With that, I'm concluding this session. Please subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment our videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.